Alright, everybody. Let's see Tucker respond to Mark Levin. Levin?
Not Israel, but America's relationship with Israel, and that can't be allowed. What's interesting is that it was Thomas Massie criticized not Israel, but America's relationship with Israel, and that can't be allowed. What's interesting is that it wasn't just Trump, and it wasn't just his donors, Miriam Adelson and Paul Singer and Paulson and the rest. It was the entire American news media, left and right. Here's CBS News interviewing Thomas Massie about his race in really one of the remarkable clips of the past month. Watch this.
There have been more than $32 million spent on a primary in this congressional district, which is now the most expensive House primary ever in the United States. Is it worth it?
You'd have to ask Miriam Adelson on May 20th if it was worth it.
Honestly, that's the most retarded question from an interviewer ever, bruv. What the fuck, bruv? The interviewer, he should be like, so what? Are you proud to stand up against, what's it called? Against the lobby that is foreign to this country? And you, honestly, it's so weird. An American cannot even represent his own country, but a foreign lobby is ruling who's gonna be representing the American people. That's so fucking retarded. Honestly, Americans are so fucking retarded, bruv.
Because, they tried to buy my vote for 14 years and it was never for sale. Now they're trying to buy a seat here in Kentucky.
You know that kind of criticism doesn't sit well with fellow Republicans, at least in the House Republican Conference, that there are others who've accused you of all sorts of things regarding Israel, regarding the state of Israel, regarding the Israeli government, regarding Jewish Americans. Are you anti-Semitic?
They're trying to tell you that it's anti-Semitic for me to expose the fact that the Republican Jewish coalition has spent millions of dollars in this race, that a dual citizen, Miriam Adelson, who even Trump says is more loyal to Israel than the United States, has spent millions of dollars in this race. Those are mere facts. And it's really...
It's a yes or no. Are you anti-Semitic or not?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
I'm hell no anti-Semitic. But here's the danger that AIPAC runs. They've been too cute by a half. They've tried to get Mike Johnson, and he's willingly done this, conflate in resolutions on the House floor that anti-Zionism equals anti-Semitism. Or even worse yet, that if you don't support Benjamin Netanyahu's war in Gaza, then you're anti-Semitic. That's absolutely false. And it does Jewish Americans a big disfavor to equate the two.
You got to wonder what that kid from CBS News is being paid. And does he ask himself, is it worth it? So he of course, asked the question to Massie, which is not a question, it's slander posing as a question. Are you an anti-Semite? There's no evidence Massie's an anti-Semite.
It's such a fucking stupid question. Why is nobody, honestly, respect for Tucker for calling that bullshit out, bruv.
Semite. He's never said anything, not one thing, anti-Semitic, ever, because he's not an anti-Semite. Are you an anti-Semite? To which Massie says, no, actually, the Republican Jewish coalition is spending millions to beat me because I don't believe in sending more money to Israel to fund their genocide against the Palestinians. He doesn't say that, but that's what this is about. Should the United States government pay for a genocide? No, would be the answer for most people. But the reporter doesn't even listen to it. Are you an anti-Semite? Yes or no? To which almost was Massie said, well, yeah, well, I'm an anti-Semite, but I mean, what? Are you an anti-Semite? So the reporter gets to say it twice. Anti-Semite, anti-Semite. When Massie's critique of our foreign aid package to Israel has nothing to do with Judaism, Jewish ethnic identity. It has no connection whatsoever to blood libel or well poisoning or any of the historical examples that are often dredged up to compare people like Thomas Massie to. You're a Nazi. He is in no sense a Nazi. In fact, he's an anti-authoritarian, unlike the reporter from CBS News, who's bludgeoning him over the head with slander. So you may say to yourself, well, of course, that's CBS News. And you may not even be aware that that was bought by a huge contributor to the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces. And part of the rationale, maybe the main rationale for having CBS News at all at this point, is to ask questions like that. If you didn't know those facts, you might think, well, that's just the mainstream media, the lamestream media. using the same tactics they always have: slander, innuendo, attacks posing as questions, not bothering to listen to the answer, totally uninterested in the reality of anything, pushing an agenda.
Exactly. American media is not analytical. It is not, what's it called? Knowledgeable. It's just pushing agendas. And American people are so dumb they cannot even realize it. That's the funny part.
You'd be right.
Honestly, America should not be called the land of the free because it's not the land of the free. It should be called the land of the dummies. Honestly.
But what's so revealing is that it wasn't just liberal mainstream CBS News. It was what's often incorrectly described as the far right. The far right. Far right meaning, I don't know, anyone who's against mass migration who raises his voice or something. But that would include Mark Levin, someone who spent a lot of his life denouncing the lamestream media. And yet, if you listen to Mark Levin's critique of the Massey race, it's identical to the CBS News critique of the race, which is Massey has no valid points. It's impossible to imagine Massey could be opposing aid to Israel except out of personal hatred, animus, out of anti-Semitism. It's impossible to imagine any Americans could support something so crazy as not sending billions to Israel. So the only people supporting Massey must be radical jihadis. Here's Mark Levin.
I'm looking at the support for Massey. It's the most radical jihadis in our country. It is Democrats. It is Tlaib. I mean, think of it. It's Rand Paul, the reprobates, the miscreants, and I underscore the malcontents, are moving behind Massey. And they're raising tons of money. And Massey is supported by all the elements that support Hamas, Islamic Jihad, Hezbollah, Iran. Why is that?
That's funny, though. That's funny he's saying that. I thought it was US and Israel who was supporting Islamic Jihad. I don't know, bro. Maybe I'm confused. As far as I know, Islamic Jihad is only getting its funding from America, from Israel, from the West. I don't know. As far as I know, that's how it is. So this, I don't know, nerd guy, Mark, or what the fuck he's called. Yeah, he's bullshitting, bro. That's some bull fucking shit. Unfactual bullshit. What the fuck is happening? Let's play.
He's supported by all the American haters and Jew haters and many of the Christian haters in this country. Why?
That's funny, though. That's the problem, bro. Zionists are hiding behind Jews. Honestly, Zionists have kidnapped the Jewish identity and holding it as a captive, bro. Honestly. It's so sad, bro. The Jewish people are nice people, bro. But these Zionists, they're using the Jews and the Jewish name to further their agenda.
Why is that?
They're Jew haters. They support Islamic Jihad, whatever that is. I mean, it's actually not, it's so ludicrous that it's funny. It's precisely what the CBS News guy just said to him. Well, clearly you're a Jew hater. You're an anti-Semite. And Massey is the perfect foil for this because he sincerely isn't. He doesn't even fully understand what the guy's talking about. No, I just don't think we should send money to a foreign country. They're mad at Massey. Why? One Republican out of 217 who hasn't taken money from the Israeli lobby. Why are they so mad at him? Why was it so important for the Israeli lobby to spend tens of millions of dollars to crush this guy? It wasn't stopping really the status quo in any way. He did help get some of the Epstein files released, and God bless him for that. He tried his hardest. But one man against 216 other members of his party is not going to get very far by definition, so why don't you leave him alone? Why force the issue? Why are they so mad at this guy? Why is Trump so mad at him? Why is Miriam Adelson so mad? And of course, the answer is because Thomas Massie was willing to say out loud that there is an Israel lobby. There is a foreign country whose supporters in the United States, in positions of prominence, are making campaign contributions purely on the basis of what's good for a foreign country. Their loyalty is not to the United States, it's to a foreign country. Well, that's just true. It's just a fact. But you can't say that. Why can't you say it? Well, because it's true. That's why. If it was a lie, if you were claiming the earth was flat, they'd ignore you. But precisely because it is true, it's the truest thing. In fact, it's the definitive fact in American politics. You're not allowed to say it. And he did. Now, why do we say that's true? Isn't that an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory?
Nope.
Well, I don't know. Let's go to the Israeli press, which for all its many faults is a little bit more honest. It's a little bit less constipated in its use of language. They can kind of say things out loud because who's watching? Haaretz, the traditionally liberal paper in Israel, publishes an English language edition. And here was its headline yesterday. Look at this. There it is. The most consequential Republican primary for Israel is happening in Kentucky. Now, why would the Republican primary in the 4th district of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, a place doubtless most Israelis had never visited or can locate, why would that be so important for Israel? Well, because lots of things they tell you are not true are entirely true. First among them is Israel could not exist without the United States in its present form. Its ambitions would be at best vastly curtailed because everything outside its borders that Israel does is done with American tax dollars and with the backstop of the lives of American servicemen. So without that, the Greater Israel Project is done. Israel can exist in its 48 borders, maybe. It probably can't hold on to its 67 borders, which is to say, Gaza, West Bank, it's going to be a slog. Because the United States makes that possible. Israel's expansion is paid for and guaranteed by the United States taxpayer. And anyone who says that out loud, that is absolutely true. There's nothing more true in global politics than that. But anyone who says it reveals the game and must be destroyed. And that's why even in Israel, they know that beating Thomas Massie is priority number one. But on its face, that sounds like an anti-Semitic conspiracy theory. A Republican primary in a minor...
Why the fuck is it a conspiracy theory? I don't even get how the fuck people make everything to be a conspiracy theory. Bruv, the fucking facts are there. What the fuck more do you need? What the fuck do people need to fucking hold your hands and fucking do everything for you? Bruv, if you can see it, if it smells like a shit, if it looks like a shit, it's a fucking shit, bruv. It's not a fucking unicorn. What the fuck, bruv?
Republican state, not even a state, a commonwealth, whatever that is being orchestrated from Israel with Israel's interests in mind, not America's interests. What are you, a Nazi? Not in Israel, you're not if you say that, because it's true. And they said it. Now, we care about supporting companies whose values align with ours. We do not want to shill for sleazy companies. It is better to give business to like-minded Americans than people who hate us. That's our rule. And that's one of the reasons we like Charity Mobile. When you make the switch to Charity Mobile, only philanthropies. Okay, code Tucker to get a...
So yeah, bruv, honestly, Tucker, he's right. A foreign lobby is controlling America and how the American people is gonna live. And honestly, I don't care. I don't get how the American people are so freaking dumb. Honestly, I don't get it, bro. Is it your education? Is it the mentality in America? I don't get it, bro. Honestly. The most simple, forward things in America, it's complicated. Honestly, it's such a weird country. But yeah, respect to Tucker and all you other guys. See you next time. Subscribe, like, you know what to do. See you next time.